Minute warning, the countdown has begun. You are just moments away from something second to none. You got just 5 minutes till the verbal samurai strikes. Jaron steps in, turning dark into light. Philosophical combat with the tongue you can't contain. Slices through deception like a freight train to the brain. He saw the sun circle, there was no mistake. And dark truths are there for you to take. Stay ignorant, keep believing these tall tales, but the true story runs much deeper than conspiracy sales. He was blind, but his mind got stretched like space. Now he ride with the truth at a different pace. Ain't no shame in the growth, evolution's a must. He traded delusion for knowledge and trust. Always honest and sometimes right. Welcome to the home of the Mr. Friday Night. Friday unplugged, don't sit too close so you'll get ready. You may think you have a choice, you don't. Bet you want truth, then buckle up tight. Ain't no fairy tales here, just real insight. Changing your mind with new info is required. Not worth crying over ideas that expired. Jared breaks the mold, no fold, bold soldier. Questions unfold, answers colder than that shoulder. Used to be flat, now his vision's in 3D. Used to say flatter till he realized it can't be. Unplugged, unfiltered, what you get's never bland. Truth in his hand, wisdom so grand. Chasing mysteries, disproving histories, no scam. Beat behind the curtain, he's the man with the plan. Jared's the best, no second guessing or contest. Clever and bold, truth bulletproof vest. He heals from the best coast, of course that's the rest. Giving knowledge to the people, yeah, he's the blessed. Break the chains, expand your lanes, thoughts reign. Mind unbuckled, never shackled with the mundane. Paper on the way, never led by the vein. Jared stays real, never plays the fame game. He's past the 10 mark, he's broke the mold. Unseen truths, ancient secrets unfold. Peering through the dark, he stands firm and controlled. A storyteller bridging time, both new and old. Unmasking lies, clearing skies for new eyes. Guts and grit, no disguise, breaking ties. Leaves conventional wisdom to be revised. Seek and conquer, always real and wise. He regrets being fool, but not afraid to own his past. He left fire behind, yeah, he logged out fast. If you want to stay behind and believe in the lies, just keep thinking you can't get the shape from looking in the skies.
Yeah, Friday night, the vibe just right. Always honest, sometimes right my plight. Weekend here, the hustle unwind. Kick back, chillax, leave the grind behind. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Unplugged from the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Honey in my tea, rhythm in my veins. We can remedy for weekday strains. Lyrics lace the night, moon spotlight. Unplugged symphony till the daylight. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. From the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathe Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow. Unplugged from the chaos, remote control. Sold my pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Jeranism Does Some Things. It is a great show title, I think, if you think about it. But welcome. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm having a good day. We got another show coming up too. As far as today goes, we got a doubleheader, which who we said Yogi? Let's Play 2. I think it was Yogi Bear. Maybe it might have been somebody else. Maybe it was Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks said Let's Play 2. I'm not really sure. It's one of those guys. Either way, I think Yogi Berra said when you come to a fork in the road, take it. I believe that's what he said. Anyway, we are going to be looking at the SphereX and Punch launch that I filmed last night from 188 miles and discussing that. That was from the Vandenbergs yesterday, March 11th. Making sure my dates are correct, yes. And later we got coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific. That's in 2 horas for those of you Spanish speakers. Enrique, that was for you. You're welcome, sir. How does it validate, or aviation, how does it validate the shape of the Earth? Who had in their office pool that one day Wolfie6020 would be on my channel? My guess is 0 people. I did not have that in my office pool. Didn't have it in the bingo game. But it is going down today. We got 2 pilots, Wolfie6020 and Robert Greenlee, coming on to discuss aviation. They were supposed to debate a Nathan Thompson, but Nathan had a request, or a demand, actually, that he get paid the $200 up front because he thinks he's Ariana Grande, I guess, or somebody who would get paid up front. Usually people get paid after they do a job. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's so he still is open. It's an open invitation. He would still get that money if he wants to come on. He can reach out to me. Otherwise, we're just going to cover aviation with a quick couple of things and cover some of the things that flat earthers have said wrong. And we'll have some pilots on to join us. So that sounds like fun, if you ask me. All right. So I got 2 other things. Let me think what we got here. So I think you guys know that we've got a eclipse coming up, tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow, 13, 14? I can't remember. One of these days coming up. In the next day or 2, there is an eclipse for all of the North America. So if you are in the States, that's where you can see it. So it might be fun to get out and check it out. I think it is in the middle of the night, but gives you an excuse to, wander the streets after midnight, which is always fun. All right, we've got, hold on, I got a couple things I got to shut down here. This is not going to be good. All right, that's good. All right, so we got that. And then I did find something funny I wanted to show you. Let's see what this. I just saw this. I was just laughing. I was like, man, this is too funny. Maybe you will get the humor in it. Maybe you won't. I don't know. We'll see. This is the one here, I believe. Let's see if I click this, it'll open up. Yes, it does. All right, let me show you this. It's just too funny. No. I'm already laughing. Where did I get over there? 1 second. This is too funny to start the show. That's good enough. Well, is it better to do this one or that one? Yeah, let's go with that one. This one? Yeah, it's a little better. Move this over. Yeah, this is great. Oh, I'm already laughing. It's too funny. I don't know where you found this, but it's classic. All right, here we go. This is Flat Earthers modeling the 24-hour sun after the final experiment. Hilarious. No. But what if the sun goes this way, though? Yeah, get it. No. Oh. One more time. No. No. All right, that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand. We are going to be, let me bring up the Google Earth first. Where did my Google Earth go? Sorry, I'm not looking at anything. I realize that. All right, let's get this on the right screen. Okay, so we've got, what are we doing here? So we were filming, why is that on the screen? Oh, it goes over there. Oh, that shows you. So this shows you real quick that the miles is 187, 188. We are filming from here, and now it's on the wrong screen. Now it's too small. There we go. That's better. And I'll show you these spots in 1 second so you can see where we're at. So we're filming from here, and then we are going let's move this thing back in line with where it's supposed to be. Yeah, over there. Thank you. All right, and then you'll see here that we've got, of course, you can't see that. Let me move this down over here. Move it up so you can see. There we go. So this is the elevation profile on the way down to Vandenberg. So you'll see that at about 95 miles, we've got a 3385 mountain in the way. Okay, so just checking that. Now, if we look at the GeoGebra, which we will in a second, we'll look at whether that affects the globe or the flat Earth or what's going on there. So let's go back to our starting point, and you can see what we were looking at. Let's jump on down there. There we go. Flip around. All right, so this is the place where I pull over and park here, and I'm just looking off. It's a little bit backwards this way. There you go. Looking off in this direction. Pretty much know where it's going to take off now. My problem is that it was nighttime, and I get out there and it's kind of hard to see where the horizon is. I have to adjust my settings on my camera, so it wasn't the best job, but it will continue to get better in my opinion. So that is, let's close this out. Wait, what did we say it was? 30. Let me just one more time check out. So that's where I'm at. You'll be able to kind of tell. And we're looking off in this direction. You'll see that we're at a height of 324 feet, which is down here. Can you see that? Yes. 324 feet is where I'm at. And we're going to exit that. And we are, okay. And then we've got Vandenberg over here at the Complex 4, or Launch Complex 4. And they are at a height of 460 from there. Well, actually, I think it's a little higher than that. What did we got? 470? Oh, I had 500. There we go. 490. Yeah, so right there in the complex of 499. So about 500. And again, we are crossing a mountain that is 3,300 feet, which I believe is, where did my elevation profile go? I guess I got rid of it. It was right about in this region here. I think it's either here or here. There's a mountain. Oh, this one. So this is the mountain that's about 3,300 feet that we were crossing. Other than that, we've got nothing in the way. Should be easy to tell. Let's move this. Okay, you're good. Close this. Thank you. All right, so that's basically what we're doing. Let me show you the GeoGebra on it so we can see what is going down. Let's see, is this the GeoGebra? Yes. All right, let's get rid of this. Here's GeoGebra, great free program. Okay. And so I'll show you what we've got. And are we on the right one? Yes. And you're looking at the right thing? Yes. Weird, why is that like that? Just a little bit more. There. Okay. So again, what we've got here is we've got a sphere drawn of radius. Well, I believe I did circumference of, well, 24,901, but in feet. And you'll see here that we are, it ends at 0 just so I can make 0 my baseline. So basically again, this is feet. So the middle of that sphere would be 40, let's see, so it's 20,903,520. So it should be 40 million. So 41 million something. Anyway, we'll back up and just show you that that's what we have. It's all been figured out. There we go. There's spheres there. And so you see that our, get back. Right, so the middle is going to be at 20,903,520 because that's the radius. And then obviously the other radius would equal a diameter of the size of the Earth. So now we're going in here to the spot location where we will be observing. Again, I think that I was at what, 375, something like that. So if we get in here, you're going to see a small mountain here with me at the 375 mark or 325, whatever it was. Must have been 325 since that's what it says. Let me lower this back down so I know what's on the screen. There we go. And you'll see basically this blue thing here is just a mountain. Sorry about the shape. I'm not great at GeoGebra. I'm getting a little bit, but not really that great. And then you'll see that I've got an observer at the top of the mountain, and he's shooting off his eyesight. So we have the green line, which is going to be a tangent, but we'll fall off of the tangent here shortly. And we've got the purple line of sight, which will be for the globe Earth guy, and the black line of sight for the flat Earth guy. Okay, so now we know that there's a mountain of 3,300 feet 95 miles away. So we're going to get out there. Again, you'd have to figure that out in feet to figure out how far that is, but we'll go here. And you got two mountains here. We've got a mountain on the globe Earth that is 3366 feet. And you'll notice that we are missing the top of the mountain, right? So basically what I'm saying is on the globe, the mountain does not come into play. The mountain is below the curvature. On the flat Earth, of course, the mountain would come into play since there's no curvature. So there's the mountain for the flat Earth of 3387 tall. And you'll notice that the line of sight just grazes the above. It should be above. Let's move that a little bit more. Get above that mountain. Okay, right about there. So now it's, your eyesight is crossing that mountain, and you'd be able to see anything after that or higher than that. Now, again, because it is kind of the mountain is taller than I am, of course, it's going to extend out. So we can't just say we're looking for the rocket to get above 3387. My line of sight is going to extend out. As you can kind of see, this black line starts to rise up. So we'll go over there. And the globe Earth is fine there because it misses the mountain. So now we're coming out here, and we're going to go to the entire distance of the 188. Okay, and from what I have, and again, somebody who's better at this math stuff could make take a second look, make sure I got this right. The pad that we said was at what, 500 feet? Okay, so you'll notice here that this height of this pad is 500 feet. The rocket will be taking off from this black line. This is just for my geometric drop. So I'll come in here and show you that we've got two lines. A geometric drop from the tangent, right? So the tangent of the original spot all the way down to the ground is a geometric drop of 23,620. The height of the rocket to be seen would be 17,900 here. Okay, and that's the rocket being seen there. So that's the globe Earth. And now we've got the flat Earth up above it. And we've got another mountain of 500 feet where the rocket's taking off from. It's taking off from here. Should be a little higher, actually. There. It's about 502. That's fine. Okay, and then our line E is going to be, the height from takeoff should be 5675. So this is the line of sight that crosses the top of that mountain that we just saw. So basically it comes down to, on a flat Earth, we should expect to see the rocket at around 5,600 feet. Let me make sure I have this down right. And so what did I say? 5675. 5675 for flat. And globulars was, let me see if I have this right here. So that's the green tangent. Okay, and then this is the purple line of sight. Okay, and that is 5. Whoops. So geometric drop from the tangent. This is from the eyesight. Right, so 17,900. Now there's also, on the globe, we want to include refraction. I'm not really sure where I multiply that out, but I'm assuming it's going to give it a few thousand feet anyway. But we'll just leave it here for now, and we'll kind of make a determination from this. Okay, so we got 5675 or 17.9. So if we should see it early, if we saw it earlier than that 17.9, that would be questionable. If we see it much later than the 5,000, that's weird. Or the 5675 as well. Let me check one thing. I want to make sure if I have this file in here. That would be, where did I put it? Garage here. Garage. Okay, let me just see if I've got something. Because I believe that somebody wanted to see, is it in here? DJ, yeah, this one. Let me bring up this video. All right, show you what you got going on. So this is just me showing the, because I used a Theodolite app, but I don't know where it's supposed to say the direction I'm looking, unless I somehow don't understand the display on the screen. Could be possible. But let me show you this, just so you can see. People wanted to see me do it because I didn't do it last time. What is that on the screen? It's weird. Never seen that before. Where are those numbers from? Yes. Weird. Let me show you. Is that on the screen for you too? F1. Huh. So this is like, it's pitch black outside. This is much different than I'm used to. So far I've been out during the day, and I've been out at evening when it's just starting to get dark. So this was kind of a shocker to get out there and be like, oh shit, it's pitch black out here. You see right where we're looking? Let me pull this back a little bit. See? Oh, yeah, there it is, compass. Okay, so just showing you we should be looking about 186. So 186. So you'll see right where we're looking. Okay. Of course, you can't see shit, so we're gonna go with all of it. We got the 186. We're ready to go. We are going to start recording.
Perfect timing. There's that call from the vehicle.
So I usually go live not go live. I usually start the camera, a couple minutes early, and then just record and hope everything goes well, because there's always a delay. So that's basically just showing you the direction we're looking. Now I'm going to bring up the video, this one here. Bring this up. So this is the on-screen display.
10, 9.
Let me turn that down a little bit. I don't really understand these numbers a whole lot yet. This is kind of your angle, but I was looking like where, so that's my longitude latitude at the top. Oh, let me show that real quick just so you know that we're at that spot. So you'll see it's 37, 33 and 120, 22. So that's 37, come on, 37, 33 and 120, 22, negative. Okay, so we're going to bring this back up and we'll go back to our spot. You can't see that. Let's go here. Now let's go to our spot. And you'll see that from here, if you look at the bottom of the screen, of course you can't see it. What else is new? Let's move that up. Okay, so you'll see we are at 37, 33 down here, and 120, 22. Okay, so there we go. We're at the exact spot that the camera says it's at. Let's bring this back up. Oh wait, no, we're going to the wrong thing. This thing. Okay, and then it has the date, has the time. So launching at 28:10. There you go. You see the 8:10 right on the screen. But I don't see where the compass is. So I am looking 186. I don't know what negative 13 degrees 0231 MILS is at the bottom. I don't even know what that is. So anyway, I'll figure it out eventually. This is a new app for me. Oh, and then you see the height that I'm at the top there. It says 320. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue on.
2, 1. Mission. Liftoff of the Falcon 9.
So we're looking at the, this is the iPhone with the Theodolite app. You can barely see the horizon there, but you can see it. This is the SpaceX feed. And then this is the Sony camera, which is also difficult to see. You can see right here the horizon. I can see it on my camera, but I'm on my video, but I don't really see it on the replay. Anyway, let's go ahead.
Go SphereX, go Punch.
SphereX and Punch on their way to map out our universe like never before and revolutionize space weather forecasting.
We are T plus 30 seconds into flight, and we are currently firing all night.
Okay, so you'll see here the craft is already at 3 point. I can't read if that's a 5 or 6. I can't see. Where's my calculator? So what is that in 3.5 kilometers? 3.5 km 2 feet is. So that's 11,482. So we're already past flat Earth land. Okay, so in the flat Earth, we should already see the rocket. It's past the 5675, but it is not to be seen yet. Let's continue.
9 of those M1D engines, and after about 50.
I think the best camera is probably this one here, the Theodolite iPhone camera. You can see the horizon there, and we should have a craft breaching that, but we don't yet.
Seconds, we'll begin throttling down those engines or tilt vehicle down just slightly in order to power.
Telemetry nominal.
order to prepare for passing through max Q, and that is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
I don't see it.
That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see during ascent, so slowing the vehicle down. Slowing the vehicle down will reduce some of the loads that it experiences through max Q. That's coming up here in a few seconds.
There it is.
Max Q.
So you just heard me say there it is. It's a little earlier than you can see it for some reason. I saw it with my eyes, but you can only pick it up here in 2 seconds. It'll come on this side, and you'll notice a little blue light appear on the horizon. You'll also notice the red light appear in the top screen.
Right on time. And now we have a few events that are coming up in quick succession, so we want to lay them out for you really quick. It's going to start with main engine cutoff. That's MECO, and that's when SpaceX shuts down all of its 9 engines on its first stage, which we are getting a great view down the pipe right there. Shortly after that, stage 1 and 2 will separate from each other, and then seconds later, the first stage will flip back towards Earth, while the second stage will continue on, igniting its MVAC engine. Now that call out is second engine start 1, or SE1, and this burn will last about 6 minutes. After that, the boost back burn on the first stage to put it back on a trajectory towards landing zone 4, which again is back here at Vandenberg, just about 1,400 feet from where Falcon launched from in the first place. Wow, look at that shot. All Merlin engines firing right there, and we have such a great live shot of it.
So to sync this, you just have to basically get home and then find out where the lights go out, if you will, for main engine cutoff, and then sync that, and you're usually pretty good. This one was a pretty easy one to sync. Here it goes. It's going to do separation. No, don't lose it. Don't lose it, Jaren. Okay, it's out. Come on, fire back up.
Main engine cut off.
Fire back up. Let me see it.
Stage separation.
Fire back up. Let me see it. There it is.
Stage 1 respect starter.
That's never fun in the middle of the night. You don't even know where it is. It's hard to
Coming up next,
make sure you still see it.
will see fairing deploy.
This part was crazy. You'll hear me say that I thought it blew up because all the stuff I was seeing in the sky, I was like, oh, it blew up. Oh, it blew up. But I guess it was just this smoke. You can see here it matches exactly. In a second, you'll see all this weird smoke, and then it's right around the craft as well.
And that's when the two fairing halves will separate and expose SphereX Punch to the atmosphere of space. SpaceX will attempt, they will actually retrieve those fairings back downrange on Go Beyond once they get back to Earth.
So I wasn't really able to see what it was, but this is the separation. You have I believe that I know which order this is in, but I could be wrong. I thought this was the first stage that kept going, and then I thought I was watching the second stage come back to the ground. I'm sorry, the first stage comes back to the ground. But I'm still not even sure which one I'm actually watching here. I would assume because the light was on that it means that it was the rocket, but not. It looks like to be coming down.
Operation confirmed.
There we hear fairing deployment confirmed, and what you see on the screen is the fairing separating and showing SphereX and Punch on their way to space.
So that's basically it. We can watch for a little bit longer, but this thing comes all the way down. Let me see if we can go forward. Comes down. You can still see it there.
LSP just works interesting things to say to
Still
us
see it there.
walk us through space weather
still see
that
it.
can significantly.
One is on its way
Awesome.
back. Lift off, looking for entry shutdown here in just a few seconds and getting ready for landing burn in just about a minute.
No. So I think I lost it for good
Stage
there.
1 entry burn shutdown.
Burn back
There we have
boost.
Jesse confirmed.
So I'm not sure if I was watching the rocket come back and it hit the horizon, or if it was the other thing hitting the horizon going away from me. Not really sure. Or going too far to see.
But back to what you were saying, Megan, about the science of.
So we'll now figure out. I don't think there's anything else to see. That's pretty much it for the video. Oh, then after, if you want to see the moon look pretty, I turned on the moon that was above me. I don't think the video was very good, but I got some great pictures out there.
first burn out of the way. We will see a second burn later. That's going to happen around T+39 minutes. We hope that you stay with us to see the deployment of both SphereX and Punch. But for now, we're going to send it back to Raquel and Farah because I know Farah's probably sharing.
Wow, that looks incredible. Why does it look so good?
Actually looks better. I think this is because I changed the color on it a little bit to get a better look at the rocket. Do I have those available now or do I not? Let me see here what we got. I don't know if I brought those over. Doesn't look like it. Shared barrage, date modified. No. Okay, didn't bring those over. All right, so let's get back to the rocket launch and see what time it was that we saw it breach the horizon. What's going on here? Maximize. Thank you. All right, let's see.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Okay, it's out.
Second stage will continue on right on time. And now we have a few events that are coming up in quick succession, so we want to lay them out for you really quick. It's going to start with main engine cutoff. That's MECO, and that's when SpaceX shuts down all.
Slightly in order to
Power
prepare.
telemetry nominal.
In order to prepare for passing through max Q, and that is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
I don't see it.
That's
And I was a little bit off in my head, you know, when I thought I was aiming for about a 30-second delay. And so I was counting in my head. That's why you hear me saying, where are you? Where are you? Because in my head, it's already been way past the 30 seconds was when I expected to see it. Not 30 seconds. So when they did the countdown, I counted down, you know, backwards from 10 when I got to 0, because I'm basically trying to keep on pace with what they're doing. But I was off by at least 15
the
seconds.
largest structural load that the vehicle will see during ascent, so slowing the vehicle down.
Vehicle, super
Where are you at?
Slowing the vehicle down will reduce some of the loads that it experiences through max Q. That's coming up here in a few
There it
seconds.
is.
Mac.
So yeah, I said there it is. I couldn't see when I said there it is. I can't see it on this video feed, and I really can't see it here. It's like 2 seconds afterwards.
Thank you.
Right on time. And now we have a few events that are coming up in quick succession,
see
so
there,
we
you
want
see
to
it
lay
easily.
them out for you really quick. It's going to start with main engine cutoff. That's MECO, and that's when SpaceX shuts down all of its 9 engines on its first stage, which we are getting a great right on time. And now we have a few events that are coming up in quick succession.
Aerodynamic pressure.
I don't see it.
That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see during ascent, so slowing the vehicle down.
Vehicle, super
Where are you at?
Slowing the vehicle down will reduce some of the loads that it experiences through max Q. That's coming up here in a few
There it
seconds.
is.
Max Q.
Okay, so it looks, what do we got? 13 kilometers. So if we do 13 kilometers, that's going to be quite a bit high. 13 kilometers. So I have that down as 42,000 feet. Okay, so I would say that both are off, obviously, but it's way past flat Earth land. So I have 42,650 feet. And now again, I don't know how accurate the SpaceX thing is. I guess we wouldn't know that. 42,650. So again, we were supposed to see it at what? About 17,900. I think you're gonna probably add, a couple thousand for the refraction. So maybe that's 20,000. But so it's either 5675 or 20,000, somewhere in there. And we got it at 42,650. So I got some people that do this that can look into it and see if I missed anything or if I'm wrong about something. But certainly the, syncing was correct. And again, we can just look at that by when the main engine cutoff was, which was about, where was main engine cutoff? Over here. Let's look at that. It is not there. Let's go here.
Second stage will continue on igniting its MVAC engine. Now that call out is second engine start 1 or SE1, and this burn will last about 6 minutes. After that, the boost back burn on the first stage to put it back on a trajectory towards
And you notice I lose it here. This is the blue light here. I lose that.
Zone 4.
Same time as
which
everything
again
else.
Is back here at Vandenberg, just about 1,400 feet from where Falcon launched from in the first place.
But then when it goes out, I never see it again on
Wow,
the
look at that
camera.
shot. All Merlin engines firing right there, and we have such a great live shot of it.
Here it goes. It's going to do separation.
And here's these two. These two are synced good.
Ah, don't lose it. Don't lose it, Jaren. Okay, it's out. Come on, fire back up.
Main engine cut off.
Fire back up. Let me see it.
So I got to figure out what settings I need to use. The iPhone works great because it's got the Theodolite app on there. But other than that, you can barely see the horizon there. And I don't get any of the light of the craft after that. And then even with the other camera, and I was thinking I wouldn't want to use the infrared, but I think now that it would have been good to use the infrared last night. I would have liked to have seen. I already have a contraption out there. I bought one of those. I don't know what they're called, like a bar, an extender bar or something for the tripod, and then the tripod has on top of it, several different things that can go on there, so they're all on the same tripod. So I'm basically just moving one tripod and getting all the camera footage from each camera. But it does make for a little questionable thing because, again, it was dark too, so I wouldn't have been able to change a lot of settings on the camera. It's kind of is what it is, but next time it will get better. I do believe. When's the next one? Is it tonight? Tomorrow? Let's go check that out real quick. I just want to see. And if anybody in California did this one as well, or you want to do the next one, that would be great to just compare and see what different locations saw. Let's see. I just type in Vandenberg Launch. And we've got Friday at super late at night, 11:40 p.m. for a transporter something. Okay. And then there's got a bunch coming up too. March 15th, so that's Saturday at 6:25 in the morning. Then Tuesday next week, March 18th, March 22nd. So there's a lot coming up. So lots to check out if you want to look at those and see when there might be one that you can see. Vandenberg Launch is the place to go, the spot to be. All right. So again, that's basically it in a nutshell. We're not seeing it at what the flat Earth would predict. One thing I heard somebody saying is something, Jaren's just confirming the consequent or something. It's like, that's not what's happening. So it's very simple. There is a launch. I now, at this point, because you can tell they match, that is a craft that's launching into the sky. I'm actually watching it from 188 miles away. Anybody pretty much even north of me, 200 miles more, could probably see that. Yesterday was a little bit cloudy out. It wasn't the best weather for it, but still was able to see it. But again, it popped up over the horizon. It looks like when it gets to about 40,000 feet is what it appeared to be. And it also is going away from me, which I think adds to everything a little bit. But for the most part in that first part of the flight, it is going straight up. So there's really no excuse for the flat Earth for seeing it so late. And again, that's the horizon line. So I think you're looking at the screen now. If you imagine we saw it appear above the horizon at that 40,000 feet or whatever, the flat Earth has to come up with an explanation as to why it takes an additional, and I don't remember where that was. Where was it when it was only 5,000 feet? How long was it? I was trying to see how long that was after. So it was at, can't remember, 3-point-something kilometers. What is this at? So that's 3.3 kilometers at 38 seconds. So in that first 38 seconds, it can be behind that mountain of 5,000 feet. But as soon as it gets past that, there's really no other explanation for where the rocket is. It's missing for another, and I believe, what do we see it at minute 10?
Currently firing all 9 of those M1D engines.
That's around a minute 10.
Power telemetry nominal.
Where
In
are
order
you?
to prepare for passing through max Q, and that is
are you?
maximum aerodynamic pressure.
I don't see it.
That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see during
you
ascent.
at?
So slowing the vehicle down
Vehicle super
Where are you
soft.
at?
Slowing the vehicle down will reduce some of the loads that it experiences through max Q. That's coming up here in a few
There it
seconds.
is.
So yeah, 110, 111. And that time, I said there it is at 12.3. Let me just put that in and see if it's not going to help us much. That's the thing. 12.3 kilometers to feet is 40,000. So yeah, 40,000 is about the number that it looks like we saw it at 40,000. Somebody can go through it and see if there's a reason why we're off by about 20,000 feet. But again, if it's launching from behind the curvature of the Earth, then it makes sense. and you wouldn't see it till it gets up past the horizon. So I did ask a trivia question, or what do you call it, a poll question that says whether or not you can tell. What did I say? I forgot the name of the question. It is called, can you tell the shape of the ground by looking at rockets in the sky? And 60% said yes, 40% said no. I think it's a pretty good indicator. I mean, I think you always want to look at evidence. That's the funniest thing about flat earthers saying this new thing of we don't look in the sky to tell the shape of the ground, which again is evidence, right? Now, because I've heard people also say, Jaron used to say all the time that you can't look in it. Yes, and I've told you, find me saying that about the sun's path, I'll pay you $1,000. Okay, there's no way I've ever said that. What I've always said is when people say the shapes of the items in the sky, the moon is a sphere, the sun is a sphere. To me, that's not evidence. It does not follow. It's a non sequitur. Doesn't matter what shape of the items in the sky is. That can't tell you what shape of the item you're on is. However, when you're talking about the 24-hour sun, or when you're talking about the path of the sun as it travels across the tropics, that's much different. We're not looking at the shape of something in the sky and saying that makes the shape in the ground. We're looking at the path of something in the sky that it's a known barometer. It's a known measuring device. Just like we use a ruler, because you can take a ruler and put it on anything, and it's a rigid measuring device that doesn't change. So we use a ruler to measure things. Just like the sun is a path that does not change. If it went for breaks every once in a while and took off for 36 hours and came back and did some jumping jacks and spinned around and went backwards sometimes, well, then we couldn't use it. But that's not what we're using it for. We're using it because it is a 24-hour perfect orbit that we can use to say, if we know it's above the Tropic of Capricorn and it's doing this in 24 hours, then we can say, does that make sense in this map? And if the map doesn't jive with the known orbit of the known sun, then the map is wrong. So that's why people can't quite get it yet. Maybe they will eventually, that the flat Earth has been falsified. And as far as the AE map, it has been exposed to be terribly wrong. And the only excuse flat earthers have at this point, which is why they're still flat earthers, I guess, is to jump to Shane's model, which is just a stolen globe Earth model, or to look at Alonso, who basically did the same thing. They're just taking the globe, putting that little marker onto the putting that little dome, half dome, onto a flat map, and then saying that we have an apparent sun. So flat earthers have to have a second sun now. And the second sun is placed inside your dome exactly where the globe Earth predicts it to be. So that's a little strange. Because then that guy said, oh, flat Earth predicted it. Well, it predicted something by making two suns, and then one of the suns does what the one sun on the globe does. So for me, since I've never seen a second sun, I would always go with the first sun. I would think there's just one. And if there's just one sun, then obviously there's only one model that allows for that. And that's the thing, that the globe Earth model allows, predicts, expects, answers, explains all the observations. So, but don't tell flat earthers that they're not very good at some of this stuff. Like we've got Steve Falconer did a whole video on the sunrise sunsets in Antarctica, but didn't take into account the fact that, of course, that it's much more difficult than you think to know what time sunrise or sunset is when the sun just skirts the horizon, right? When do we call sunrise or sunset? When the sun is halfway exposed? How about when the top of it gets to the horizon, or the bottom of it gets to the horizon? And a couple times he was saying, oh, I checked these two places on the exact same latitude. No, when you really check them, they're 1 degree off. And if they're 1 degree off, and in February, when the sun is only a half a degree in size, then you're going to be off by 4 days at minimum between those places. So he made a big deal about something that's actually expected on the globe Earth. And if you have a mountain, let's say you're at Union Glacier, for example, and the sun is just skirting the horizon. Well, it goes behind Mount Rossman over there. So does that count as a 24-hour day or not? So you can see the difficulty with that. How do you know whether to call that? It probably gets dark if the sun is behind the horizon line or close to it, and it goes behind big mountains. So yeah, if you're 37 miles away, or what do you say, 67 miles away from another base, one could have a mountain on the horizon and one doesn't. And that would have drastically different daylight times, 24-hour daylight times, and start dates and end dates of that 24-hour sun. So it was basically nothing there. Several different situations like that. But the other thing is what he's debunking is what I said when in my post was to go to the Andrew Marsh model, because that's where I was spending all my time. I said, go to the Andrew Marsh level and you'll see, model. I always forget what to put in. PD? Why don't I remember? Yeah, there it is, PD. I don't know why PD. What does that even stand for? Who knows? All right, so we're going to move this over here to show you just one time, so people that have been sending me that video, like, oh, I got you. I asked him to record a video of his watch time, his viewer retention time. I guarantee you, it's the most embarrassing viewer retention time of all time, because number one, as soon as you start saying numbers, I'll just tell you something. Flat Earthers, they turn it off. They go into the comments like, way to go, you got Jaron, you got him, nailed him, thanks. But they've watched 2 minutes of that video. So he won't do that. He hasn't done it yet because it would be embarrassing. I think it was like low-hanging fruit. Here's the answer to you guys that are Flat Earthers. If you want views right now, hey, Jaron's hated. Let's go make a video and put Jaron in the title and talk about Jaron the whole video. And that's how you'll get kudos from the Flat Earthers, and they'll all love you, and you'll get views. Isn't it great? That's how YouTube works, that those kind of things are rewarded. So this is what I was showing here. So if you go here, now let's go down to Antarctica where he was and see if this thing says anything different than what he was telling us. Let's go down to, I don't know, December 18th is fine. We're going to move the latitude down to here. Okay, so no matter what latitude line we're on, let's see, you're not seeing that very well. Bring that down to about there. Okay, there. So you'll notice over here that we've got daylight hours. So let's change the date until that daylight hours goes below 24. Okay, so as soon as we're off 24 at all, oops, that's the date, not the, I meant the latitude. There we go. So we're trying to get off of at 24, but also here. Okay. So let's say there, so you'll see there 1932 hours of daylight. So all I said was that if you take the line of latitude and you move it, shoot, my bad, I meant to move longitude. Okay, so there's 2237. So if we take this longitude to move it around the latitude, you'll notice that the daylight hours are the same, 2237. Okay, so that's what I was saying, that no matter where you go on the Earth, so if we move this up here, and that is at latitude 45 and a half at 1422. If we take this now and move it all the way around the globe, you'll notice that the times don't change, 1422. Okay, that is very impossible on a flat map. It tells us that the north and south are congruent, they're opposite of each other. 6 months later, you get the same thing. So if we went 6 months different here at the 55, I'm sorry, what was that, 45 or 55? Whatever it was, north, 45. Then you would get the same daylight hours. You would get the same everything. Now, the problem with this is that this is mathematical, and that's what I was explaining, is that the mathematics works on it. So if you're actually going to look at real sunrise sunset times, then the topography comes into play. For example, you might be at a house that has a mountain like me. I live here in the valley in California, and the Sierra Nevadas are to my east. And so that makes a difference in sunrise sunset time, because if those mountains weren't there, I would have an earlier sunrise. So it's not a exposure of the globe to be like, oh, well, this person over here has an earlier sunrise than me, and we're on the... No, because I have a mountain in the way. So it just comes down to, what are you looking at? What are you actually measure? Are you trying to show that mathematically we come up with these sunrise sunset times and that the globe explains them? The problem with it is, if you think about what Steve did, he proved that the 24-hour sun exists in 45 bases in Antarctica. What do you think that means? What do you think it means for the flat Earth?
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
It means goodbye. It means that there is no flat model that will ever explain a 24-hour sun at all the places on the outside of the map. So I'm not even sure what the point of that was, other than just to say my name a bunch, and like I said, get kudos from flat earthers and say a bunch of numbers. And at this latitude and this latitude, the exact same latitude, said exact same latitude about 7 times. And every time it was not the exact, it was about a degree off. So anyway, you can go to anywhere on here. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's pretty incredible. And so is the fact that we have hours of sunlight. So if we go down here to December 21st and take the latitude line all the way to 90, you'll notice that we have 24 hours of sun. And as we move this up, you can just watch that 24 hours daylight and watch it move all the way up to, in order, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, right? All the way up to 0 when you get up to the North Pole. And then if you change the date to, instead of December 21st, we go to June 21st, then we get the same thing the opposite way. So you got that. Now you're coming back down, and you're going to see it go from 24 hours all the way down to 0 again. So if you think about that, that does not make sense on a flat Earth at all. Picture being here in South America. On a flat map, the sun's going to come around going this way, okay? Which means that you would never have the most hours of sun at the bottom. The sun comes here, it's going this way. Well, these places would have more sun than here. Remember, the sun's coming this way. Actually, it comes up about here. So the sun's coming this way, going off this way. These places would have more sun than here, but that's not what happens. If we look again, and we'll bring this back over here. Let's move this around. Okay, so if you're here, you'll notice your, let's go down a little bit there. So notice your hours of daylight in December. There. So we got 17 and a half hours at the tip there at Punta Arenas. And if we take this up and go here, yes. You'll notice as we start going up, the hours start getting less and less. We're already at 15:30, 15:25, 15:10, 15:14. You know, so it doesn't make any sense to anybody, but it does make sense to me because I was here in Punta Arenas and I saw the sun sets this way, down this way. It does not set left to right like it needs to on a flat Earth. Let me just say this too, because I don't think flat earthers know this, and it's ridiculously self-explanatory. In the south, everywhere south of the equator, if you watch a sunset while looking west, the sun sets right to left. Now, I've seen people on Kyle's video and other people message me, and they're like, left to right and are relative, you idiot. No, they're not. Not what I'm talking about. Listen again. If you are standing in South America looking west, does that make right and left relative? No. I said you're standing in South America looking west. So there is no ambiguity here. You're standing here looking west, and the sun sets right to left, going this direction. How is that possible? The sun needs to go around here to get over to Australia on the other side over here. So again, if you're in the north, every single sunset you watch, if you stand here and look west, the sun will always set left to right. So that's why everyone in the north can understand the flat earth, because the sun would set left to right for everybody. And in the north, it does set left to right. But how weird is that? As soon as you cross that equator, all of a sudden, the sun sets right to left for everybody in the south. So that's why, if you go back down here and go to here, that's why the sun is the longest here, right? So there you have 17 and a half hours. Again, if you keep going this way, it's going to get greater towards 24. Come back this way, 17 and a half. And then each one of these is actually progressively worse or less hours. So imagine that you're at 13 hours of sunlight here, and you're at 17 hours of sunlight here, but the sun comes this here and goes this way. So there's just no reason on a flat earth that would ever be the case. But I've come to realize the flat earth is spectacularly wrong in many areas that I didn't know. Main point of that is that the south is not a lie. The south is exactly as they describe it. How do you know, Jared? Because I was down here and I watched the sun and I watched the angle of the sun and I saw it rise south of east, go way up above my head, set south of west, and it hit me. You know, it was only under the earth for a mere 4 or 5 hours. And then, every restaurant opens there at 8. Well, it's just the way life works because they live in the south. And I'd never even been that far north, right? I've never been to 50. I always forget if it's 53 or 57. I guess I can figure that out real quick. I've never been that far north, so I'm sure things in the north work the same way. So we're here, and that is what, 53 or 57? So 53. So from 53 degrees, again, that's crazy. So again, if we went up here to the north, you're just going to see the same thing in June, where if you wanted to say, okay, so if somebody asked you, well, who gets more sun, this place or well, that's easy because it makes sense now, or it didn't really make sense before. At least in the south, it didn't make sense. So we'll go up here, move around to Alaska here or so, and we'll go to that 53 there. Move it back into land. Okay, so if you're at that 53, it's the same thing, right? So before, like we said, it's just the opposite now. And if you look at the daylight hours, 16:57, and then we'll bring this down to there as we start to go down and see it diminish. Same thing. So about here and here is the same as Punta Arenas to that part in northern South America that we saw. So that's it. So come on back in an hour. We've got Robert Greenlee. We've got Wolfie6020 talking about aviation. And I believe that's it. Oh, I wanted to mention one thing. If you want to help out or you want to do a project, there's a guy I know that's doing a... Where's my notes? Oh, yeah, here it is. In the upcoming equinox, which will be the 20th of March, which is about a week away, I'll be participating in a recreation of the Eratosthenes experiment. So a guy I know is running and managing it. If you want to take part, all he wants you to do is this. For the experiment, you need 3 things. You need a stick placed in the ground as vertical as possible on a horizontal surface. And then you fill in on this form. I'll give you the link to the form. You fill in the length of the stick and then the length of the shadow at local solar noon, which you can look up and figure out exactly what time that is. Or you can just record or kind of pay attention for the 10 minutes around that area and then make sure you get the measurement of the shortest shadow. Whenever this shadow is the shortest would be when the sun is at your local solar noon, right? So, and then the latitude where you are, 2 digits after the decimal point is fine. And then the link to the form where you can fill in the results is here. And you can take pictures of the apparatus if you want. But then what he'll do is put all those in. And we've actually seen this before, but I just want to be a part of it this time. When you look at the angles to the sun for the flat Earth, it will not jive. They will be in every different direction. They will be all over the place. It will not pinpoint the location of the sun. However, when we then change it to the globe, it will all point in the same direction at the same sun. That's the prediction. That's what usually happens. So if you want to take part in that, let me find the link here. Copy link. And I've not clicked on this link yet. I probably should before I say shit. There you go. Okay, there you go. And I had some people already asking me, did you change your logo? What happened to your logo? Yes, I did change my logo. It's because I like the X because it is my 10-year anniversary. If you didn't know that, I started YouTube February of 2015. So we're going to celebrate that with an X over the AE map since the AE map is wrong. It's been debunked. Now, does that mean the flat Earth has been debunked? Yes. Because there is no other map and there'll never be another map. And people just don't want to face facts yet. They don't want to realize that. They want to pretend and they want to cry and pretend like I'm the one who's lost my mind. You can't say all the things you said for 10 years and then just turn on a dime. I didn't just turn on a dime. I turned when the South showed itself to be the opposite of the North. There is a South Celestial Pole. Fact. There is a South Pole. Fact. There is a 24-hour sun. Fact. There is circumpolar stars in the South that don't work on a flat Earth. Fact. There is no more map of the flat Earth or any map that can show a 24-hour sun. Fact. Therefore, the map has been debunked. There'll never be another. It's time for everybody to get off their high horse, accept that you're on a globe, period. Again, nobody feels like they're on a globe. I feel like flat earthers feel like they have to feel it. You don't have, nobody in the whole world feels like they're on a globe. Nobody in the whole world feels like they're spinning. Do you understand that? People aren't reaching the conclusion of the globe because of anything other than evidence. Okay? So that's just something people accept when the evidence becomes substantial and there's no evidence for the alternative position, then you accept the one with the evidence that tells you it's true. If you choose not to do that, that's fine, but you will forever be scrambling and not be able to do anything. I mean, I don't have a map, I don't have a model, is not a good debate tactic, let me tell you. Doesn't go over well, and nobody will respect that person for even showing up. Be like, why'd you show up here? You have no map, no model, no claims. Well, what are you doing? Take your religion elsewhere. So, I believe that is it. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Did I not have this on the screen? I did. Okay, I don't know why my screen's all messed up. So play with the Andrew Marshall model if you want. I will put the link in the chat. But, verify if this matches the world. If it does, then do you realize it means that this is the world? Okay? You cannot have the Earth. We can't live somewhere else, and then they put it on the globe, and then the observations match the globe model. That means you live on the globe model. Somebody said something funny to me the other day that I thought was worth talking about. I was talking to a person that is still flat, and we've gone back and forth many times. And at one point, when I was talking about the globe and the angles and this and that, she said, "Yes, Jaron, I know that the globe matches observations. That's how they built it." And I said, "Yeah, exactly right. Yes, that's perfect. Yes, that's what exactly. Hello, McFly. What's going on here? How do you not get that?"
Hello?
Enrique, that was
Anybody
nice.
home?
Pretty quick.
Hey,
Pretty quick.
McFly.
Not too bad. So the deal with that is, of course, that's where do you want a model to come from? Magic? From somebody's head space? Or do you want the model of where you live to be modeled after observations? If we can find a model that matches all observations, what do you think the odds are that it is correct? I say pretty good. All right, we will see you in 53 minutes. Join me or don't. Either way, well, one way is better than the other, but you could do either one. Whatever floats your boat. Is there anything else I need? That is it, I believe. We will see you very... Oops, let me check this real quick. Oh, I do see a super chat. Thank you very much. Let me check this out. I didn't expect to see any. Fan funding. Oh, got more than a bunch. Hey, thank you. We've got Present99 says, "I'm interested in buying your Antarctica footage and was told from your Telegram channel that the 5-hour something video of the chest cam footage was all that there is." There's other stuff. I mean, there's stuff from my phone and other things like that. And I believe it's on my website. You can buy that USB if you go to shop.jeranism.com, which will have the chest cam footage and then some other stuff as well, if you want to get that. Dan the Waterman says, "Was the trajectory moving away south?" Yes, I believe it was. I do think that that is the case. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I need to do then. Do I take the height of it when I see it and then see what the distance of that is? So I'll talk to a few people who have done this before. Last time I watched it, it kind of was more of a southeast. This time it was definitely away from me. Dave's Waffle House, thank you very much for the £2. I love that. Nick in the house for 6 months is a member. He says, "Just finished my weekly briefing with the Illuminati payroll department. Another round of direct deposits sent to YouTube Globers. Got to keep this sweet ball earth propaganda rolling." The problem is that I don't know if you can talk to somebody in the higher office. I have not received any check yet. So clearly I saw somebody already got a car, supposedly. No, it's a joke. Don't go around repeating nonsense from other people who are very sad and just throw people under the bus that they used to be friends with. And with no evidence at all, they just make claims that are actually dangerous. It's actually a dangerous claim to make. We've got Hingle McRingleberry. That cannot be real. Come on. $20 says, "If the evidence doesn't match what I want to be true, I hate you. Never mind the evidence." You would fit right in with a couple people I know. Again, you can hate me all you want. I cannot change who I am. I cannot change the fact that I'm going to follow evidence wherever it leads, because I think that's your best bet. Certainly holding on to things that don't match evidence is not the best bet. And, I admit and apologize for being drastically wrong about the flat earth in the South. And was there evidence that led me there? Sure, a little bit, or a lack thereof, but a lack of evidence is not evidence of lack. And, going down there, I realized why it's difficult to do. And I think that if people knew how difficult it was, they would understand a little bit more why there's not a plethora of 24-hour sun footage. But if you go to like Flickr, I don't know if you've ever been to Flickr. Let me see if I bring that up. what is it? CKR? I don't even know how to say it. I don't know where it goes. Flickr, FLICKR. And then type in Union Glacier as the search term. Let's see, Union, UINON, Glacier. And when you see this is why I don't understand the people who want to claim that the trip's fake. Like these people, like Flatzoid and these guys, they don't realize that how dumb their position is. That there's evidence all over the place that you can just go to now and you can check it out and say, oh, okay, it's probably true, and then move on to something else. Don't sit there all day and talk about. So if you go to Union Glacier and you just start searching around, you're going to see tons of people there from every year. This is 2013 or 2012. You could just go through these. There's Mount Rossman, and you can just see that there is lots of footage of Union Glacier. And I forgot how you do a tag. If you find the tags, here we go. It's not Russman. I don't think that's the name of it, is it? Maybe I've been spelling it wrong. You can find usually I found a Union Glacier tag, and then once you do that, then you get the plethora. Where is it? Let's go back one more. Back one more. Back one more. Back one more. Okay, here. So if we go down here, Antarctica, I floated up. Somewhere there's a Union Glacier. Union Glacier. Rossman, that's spelled correct. Here we go. Union Glacier. Can you give it the same word? I don't think that'll work. Neither one of those is going to go to the wrong thing. Let's go find a better picture from Union Glacier. That's one. Come on, have the tag. No, Antarctica is not a good tag. I'm trying to find Union Glacier. But you could use that as well, that tag Antarctica, and just look through and just see. I mean, what you're having to imagine is that all these people who are clearly there in the summer, because remember, it's dark in the winter. Oh, the winter is dark there. So if you find, this is also, I don't think this is going to say Union Glacier, is it? Come on. Oh, there it is. Union Glacier with a hyphen. I don't know if that'll really work. I think it's without a hyphen. So you can start, I mean, here's the plane that we came in on, not the same time. This is from 2023. But again, you can find, come on, there we go, Union Glacier with the correct spelling. So once you get here, you can just go through these. There's tons of pages. These are all the area that we were from every year in the past. You've got all these employees who people are calling liars. I've talked to these people, and they work there every year. And this guy went down and took pictures of them one year. These are all employees there that we met. Some I obviously didn't. I didn't recognize some of them. But there's your blue ice runway. So anyway, at this point, anybody still saying that the trip was fake is just retarded. Enrique?
Uh-oh, retard alert!
It's good. You're getting better. So, yeah, anyway, just showing you that there's page up to 42 pages of photographs from Union Glacier from different years, same planes, same crafts that we drove in, or the little orange, whatever that thing's called, Skidoo. Just like the meteorology department where they check the flights and the weather conditions. That's in Punta. These are some of the guys that work down there. And go through. So if people would have done this first, there's a nice picture of the 757. That's one thing I'm upset about. I don't think we have any photographs or video of the plane besides on it. But I mean, I want to see from the outside of us landing, but I don't think that's in existence, really. I don't know who would have taken that picture. So we probably could have asked somebody, just nobody thought about it. That's beautiful. That's the sun there. That's Mount Rossman going behind. So, you can look at this and you can tell the date and the time of the year, or the date based on just those photographs once you know what the sun does there. So that's another thing, by the way. You have people like Flatzoid, and I've heard the same thing from who else have I heard said this? Such dumb shits. Sov doesn't get it. Flatzoid doesn't get it. Nathan Thompson doesn't get it. Let me explain something to you guys. At the South Pole, it's the only place in December in the world that the sun stays at the same height all day and goes around you. These guys are like, oh, they just put a marker in the ground and then gullible globe earthers think it's the bottom of the earth. No. Who is gullible if you don't understand that you would not get there and not know you're at the South Pole? They can't just put it somewhere. These are the same people who told me they're not going to take you to Union Glacier. They're going to take you somewhere else. I was like, how? Union Glacier on the globe model has a very specific angle of the sun that exists just there. So they can't take me somewhere else, or else the sun would do something different. They don't get that. They want to still argue and just sound like dumb shits. I get it. We were all wrong. We thought the South was a lie. We thought there was no 24-hour sun. We thought it was different than the North. We thought it expanded. That's another thing. How about this one? If you want just one more thing that proves it easily. If you go to, let me show this real quick. If we go to Australia, okay, and we measure a line of, and these are all things I'm like realizing, I'm like, what? Why did I not? Either somebody was saying them and I never heard or didn't listen, or just the globe earthers are terrible and I'm a better globe earther than them. That's probably it. Let's go down here to Australia. Okay, we're going to go down to a southernmost spot just so we can get, remember, because on a flat Earth, the lines of longitude are going to expand outward. Okay, on the globe Earth, they condense down. So let's go here. Let's see what we get. We get one. Okay, so like 131 to 130.75 is east longitude. So we're going to calculate the distance. Come on. No, I want regular line path. All right, so we're going to calculate from 131.75 to 130.75. Okay, so there's our, so we've got 59 miles, 60 miles there, okay? 60 miles. So now if we take the distance of this spot here, where we just took that from, to the North Pole, will you stop it? Okay, thank you. And, oh, this thing makes me so mad. Thank you. All right, so we're taking this spot here. We're going to the North Pole. Figure out what our distance is there. And we get 8,320. So what that becomes is that becomes the radius of that circle. So we can then take 2 pi r, which is 26.28 times 8320. 6.28 times 8320 will give us the circumference of 52,249. Well, to figure out the line of longitude, we're just going to divide that by 360. Okay? And we get 145. So imagine that. Let me explain what I just said. We just measured the lines of longitude, and it came out to 60 miles. 60 miles between the lines of longitude. But on a flat Earth, it's 145. Guys, the Earth is not flat. There's no way. That's almost 3 times as big. Do you understand that? That means that planes flying and cars driving, a car would get, oh, we only have 60 miles to go, so we'll be there in an hour. And then you get there 3 hours later. And you're like, what the fuck happened? How did it take so long to get here? The Earth will never be, cannot be, should not be, won't be, ever flat. It's flat wrong. It's flat wrong. It's flat wrong. Facts are facts. Evidence is evidence. You got to get over yourselves and stop being so attached to something that you had no reason to really attach yourself to. So it doesn't make you who you are. It's just a belief. You were wrong. We were wrong about a lot of things. And we just move on. And we get better and we get smarter and we learn from our mistakes. And, that's what we do. All right. I'll see you guys in 40 minutes. Join me with Wolfie and Robert Greenlee. Do we have an exit song we're going to be playing? We'll just play the Jeranism song because we have nothing else to do. All right, guys. Much love to you. We'll see you in 40 minutes. Till then, this has been Jeranism, reminding you to do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe people telling you that your data is safe on their app and that you can't tell the shape of the ground by looking at the lights in the sky. You most certainly can. Till next time, Jeranism. Peace.
I know this dude named Jaren and he's looking real fine. And no, I'm not a homo, but I gotta try to make him mine. Cause he holds all of the secrets that the ancients once kept. But the way to Jaren's heart is proving you have once leapt from a volcano or a cliff or an airplane into danger without fear, crying, screaming, waking babies in their mangers. He can smell your fear from 1,000 miles away. And if you try to deceive him, well, today's your last day. You can bet he doesn't want a coward or a liar coming up to him saying, can you be my friend? Maybe you can man it up and lay it down in front of him and show him you're strong enough to go out on a limb. He's got enough ladies lining up around the block to fill 747's loading number on the clock. A lot of men are crying every single day, praying for a Jaren day, but they can't afford the price to pay. All the women want him and all dudes want to be Jaren, but the fact of the matter is, there's only one Jaren. He's got an internet following that forms a giant group. He can translate ancient tablets using alphabet soup, which he rarely even does, though it fetches big money. He doesn't even need it cause he sweats pure honey. His fans send him gifts, make him gifs, jump off cliffs, just for the once-in-a-lifetime honor of seeing Jaren take a sip of his famous oat stew. That's right, he's the stew chef. You may say, what's a stew chef? Well, you've probably never seen a stew chef, cause there's only one stew chef, and it's Jaren cooking it up. He's known for only filling friends and family's cups with his decadent sludge that he boils all night, every night, all night, every night. It's out of sight. He can do a dance that makes everybody pee their pants and make a mess and cause stress. He's on a mission with the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. He's riling up the world. You can do the Jerry Berry Blitz and the Jerry Berry Twist. You can imitate the best just like the rest. Come on, Jaren, show the world what you got now. He's gonna show you his dance. He's gonna show you his skills, his dancing skills. check them out, y'all. Yeah. Jaren's powers grow with every fight, and every fight that he fights, he destroys his opponent and leaves a sticky mess on the ground. He wages war when provoked, and when provoked, he starts to smoke out of his butthole, and that's when you run away or die. Cities topple, buildings fall, mountains melt, and rivers stall when Jaren says so, cause he does what he wants when he wants. Sovereign nations all bow down when Jaren comes around. They know they can't match his skills, yeah, they've all heard this song. He's lived for thousands of years and caused innumerable tears and broken so many hearts, I just don't know where to start. His flow's unbreakable, swagger unshakable, his style's impeccable, and you can't do anything when he competes at Pizza Prize Bowl. Girls want to marry him, but a mate would only slow him down, and besides, you know that he would never ever share his crown. He's left everyone he's met depressed, torn up, and so forlorn. What's scary is you haven't even seen